Welcome to Watch and Complain, episode 184,
Wow, 184.
The Mandalorian, season 3, episode 1.
Wow. That was a good rundown of the plot. Like and subscribe. Hit that like button. I thought it was cool.
Are you happy to be back?
Yes.
You have gone back to watch it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're all caught up.
And one thing that was very funny, I saw some stuff on YouTube and listened to one podcast that I listen to every Monday morning that I work. And everybody has, I felt the same way, and I'm glad to see that everybody feels the same way. And that is, so when I rewatched everything, I rewatched the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, I watched Book of Boba Fett, right? I love that Grief Karga was basically the NPC character of Mandalorian Season 3. Grief Karga is Carl Weathers' character. And they knew that, okay, a lot of people probably... Carl Weathers, the black dude that's running Navarro.
Oh, okay.
He basically, they said, okay, we know a lot of people aren't gonna, or didn't watch Book of Boba Fett or forgot about Book of Boba Fett. So your job is to drop in the exposition that people would have learned out of Book of Boba Fett.
Someone went down the wrong pipe.
So what they had Grief Karga do, and he shows up, Mando, I thought that your mission was to return the little one to where it was supposed to go. And he says, yeah, I was supposed to return the little one to where it was supposed to go, but then I didn't, or I returned it and then it came back to me.
Is that what you
Holy shit. Like it's there was so much exposition from Grief Karga. He's like, Navarro has turned into a great non-republic trading location where people can come and trade, but we are outside of the republic rule. And you're like, holy fuck, dude. Like, the poor bastard, all he does is exposition until it gets to one scene that was my favorite fucking scene of this first episode. But yeah, I really liked it. It feels like the best stories know they know where they're going. So they begin with the end in mind. That whole Stephen Covey ideology, right, of the 7 habits of highly effective people. You begin with your end in mind.
The circle of Marvel.
Yeah, because if someone's definitely beginning with the end in mind, it's fucking Marvel.
Well, you know that the Star Wars people have taken that circle and applied it to their stuff. It's a group. It's a good thought. It's the same thing that you're talking about.
I think it's the other way around.
All right.
I think they're seeing the success of Mandalorian, and they're trying to ape that with Marvel stuff. But regardless, my point is, I feel like this knows where it's going. I feel like it knows where it's going. And the same way that first season knew where it was going. It introduced IG-11, and it knows that IG-11 dies at the end of the first season. The second season waffled a little bit, but I think the second season waffled because they knew they wanted to share stuff with Book of Boba Fett. And I think now I think that was kind of a test. Like, let's try it out, see if it works.
We could split it apart.
Yep, they realized, you know what, that probably wasn't a good idea. And now it's just straight Mandalorian. Which is
what it should be.
Which is what it should be, yeah. But, I mean, the story itself, I thought it was... so the other thing was he brings a piece of what a guy discovered on Mandalore, gives it the armor. The armor is like, you removed your helmet. You're not a Mandalorian anymore. What do I have to do to be a Mandalorian again? You got to go bathe in the seas of Mandalore. I'm like, this is exactly what they did in Book of Boba Fett, but because nobody watched Book of Boba Fett, they got to redo it here. But I really like that starting where they had that crocodile where they were doing the kid putting on his helmet, who I of course thought was Din Djarin. I think everybody figured it was Din Djarin, and then he comes in and rescues everybody from the big croc. The guts of the croc was kind of stupid, and it was funny. It felt like
couldn't they do the whale treatment?
Right? I felt like they were trying to appease 2 audiences. They were trying to appease the boys audience where we need a little bit of gore, but they know, hey, we're Star Wars. We got to keep it like PG. Yeah. And it's
Disney.
Like a little intestine falls. And it's like, it's kind of
we're not going to get another R-rated thing until Deadpool.
Yeah. Which, in all honesty, I really don't give a shit about, but that's just me. But no, I really enjoyed it. I keep on going around in circles, but I loved when Grief Karga, when those pirates try to get into the school, it was formerly a bar, it's changed to a school. Grief Karga says, get out of my school and leave. And the guy's like, oh, like
it's a bar.
Like we'll see who gets taken out. And Grief Karga is just kind of looking at the guy, and he moves it back, and he's got his gun, and fucking Grief shoots out of the guy's hand. But then the guys pull their guns, and the Mandalorian fucking shoots him. I was like, this is great. Like, I'm glad that they haven't kind of made Mando kind of he's got a kid now, so he's calmed down a little bit. Even Grief Karga. Grief Karga is now the High Chancellor, whatever he calls himself, I can't remember, of Navarro, but he's still a bit of a pirate. You know what I mean? He's still a bit of a badass. Yeah. I like that part.
Well, we don't know. Like, he is calmed down, but he's also been calm and waiting for his moment.
Who, the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like the Mandalorian, I don't think the introduction of Grogu gave him, calmed him down in any way, but I feel like now he's not as directionless as he. So in the first season,
I agree with that. Yeah.
And arguably parts of the second season, he's got a mission to accomplish. The problem with the second season is he accomplishes a mission, walks around doing nothing for a little while, and then Grogu comes back to him. So he kind of waned in that second season. But in that first season,
I feel like that was
clear mission.
That was the writing of like, we are not sure if Grogu's going to be popular. Then boom, and then we're like, okay, we have to bring Grogu back.
Not to mention, hey, you know what's going to be super popular? Let's bring back this creepy CGI Luke Skywalker. And a lot of people are like, nope, get rid of that. And that's why they were like, okay, we're not going that route again.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan is a cool character. She was a cool character in Rebels. I like where they're going with Bo-Katan.
Are they going to do a spinoff?
I don't know. I thought there was.
Were they doing a spinoff of her or the one with the
Twilight? That's Ahsoka. Yeah, they're doing Ahsoka. She's not. She's a Gruta. She's not a Twi'lek.
So I'm wondering if they could take Starbuck and make her.
I don't think so. I think she's always going to be part of the Mandalorian. I think Ahsoka and the whole part
because
of Ahsoka
she's so tied with the Mandalorian because she wants the sword, but she doesn't want to fight him.
That's Bo-Katan. But with Ahsoka, she's going after Grand Admiral Thrawn, right? So Grand Admiral Thrawn is a whole other story that people haven't seen yet, unless you watch Rebels.
But that's not tied with Mandalorian.
No, not
the Mandalorian at all. So
but with the Mandalorian, there's like the Old Watch and learning to be like a Mandalorian, like Bo-Katan and her whole group and stuff like that. So yeah, but I mean, without getting too bogged down in fucking details about all the nerdiness of the show,
that's what our show's for.
I've enjoyed it a lot. I really like the opening of the first season. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm curious to see too. I saw an interview with Jon Favreau, and he was saying that Grogu is learning how to really harness his powers, and he's learning how to figure them out and stuff.
And it's still a mystery, like how much he can do.
I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah.
But
I don't think there was enough of a clincher to keep people like into the show who are casuals yet.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, who joins a show as a casual in the third season?
You can still be a casual viewer if you've watched the whole series so far.
Yeah.
Like,
true, I guess.
But like, if you're coming in, there's going to be those casual people who are like, oh, I like Grogu a lot. I like the little droids that come up. Yeah. Oh, I like the little creatures.
All the salacious crumbs in the tree. I thought that was really, really cool.
I hate that one.
The salacious crumb?
Yeah. It just looks off-putting.
He's pretty ugly. My wife hates him too. And I said to her, you'll love it. He's up in a tree. There's like several of them in a tree, like hanging out like koala bears.
I feel like it's an homage to Jim Henson.
Could be. Yeah, he's designed by Jim Henson.
Not his face, but.
You never know.
Do you want me to do the plot, or did you already do that enough?
I think I did enough of the plot. You can do it if you want to.
It's a lot.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
But
Mandalorian goes to Navarro, says, hey, I need parts of IG-11. They reset IG-11. He comes back as a destroyer droid, tries to go after Grogu. They have. I did love that the protocol droid just pushes the Grief Karga head statue, just smushes IG-11. Yeah. I didn't really care too much to see Babu Frick again, but what are you going to do?
Which one's Babu?
Babu Frick is the little tiny guys that Yoda was grabbing onto. Or Grogu.
They made the show very good.
Well, he's from Rise of Skywalker because they bring him into Rise. So I think he was like one of the one things that they liked him. People liked in Rise of Skywalker. I don't really give a shit, but I mean, he's a means to an end.
It's another character for the casuals.
Yeah, and we need
it's a toy.
person. Yeah, we need a person to fix IG-11. Babu Frick. Like they could have given it to
that woman.
Anybody, to really anyone, but they give it to. Oh, I did like how they got rid of Cara Dune too, because she's like a Republican translating nut job.
Yeah.
So they had to say, "Oh, she's a marshal now. She got picked up by the Republic or something."
We wrote her off, but I was disappointed that Sasha Banks didn't come back.
Who the hell's Sasha Banks?
She was the black woman that was with Bo-Katan.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cosca Reeves is her name in the show. But she did say that
she's a wrestler.
Her own people disbanded and took off. Like
yeah,
Axel
that's
Wolves
the right
and,
out.
Cosca Reeves.
Right off. Yeah.
They
and
might
I'm just
come
like,
back.
come on.
They might come back, but as of right now, I like the idea of the Mandalorian goes to Mandalore and or not Mandalore, but a planet beside Mandalore, and sees like Bo-Katan just kind of sitting there, and then you saw the art, the like production art or inspiration. I don't know what they call it. Like storyboards type of thing. And,
which if you're not watching the storyboards at the end, you should.
You should be, man.
They're
They're
interesting.
Great. Yeah, they're great.
I used to use them as things when we're talking.
Oh, really?
In the background,
Nice.
yeah.
But I mean, it's great when you look at the picture. Like her, like she's just sitting there, and she looks all alone, and she looks like very forlorn. And this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And Katie Sackhoff does a good job of expressing that. I think
She's a great actress.
She really is.
I would suggest you watch her series. Her short-lived series on Netflix. It's a sci-fi thing, and
I know she was in a very short-lived series called Battlestar Galactica.
I want to say Afterlife, but it might be the wrong sci-fi show. They've done a couple like pilot series, and then it never came back. So
was she a pilot?
No,
in the series,
I don't think so.
Well, she should have been. That's why
she was a captain.
A pilot's pilot series.
Anyway,
they should do a show about a pilot that's filming videos, and he's trying to get a series off the ground, and they call it a pilot's pirate series. Oh, or it can be about a pilot filming a pilot as a pirate, and it can be a pilot's pirate series.
Where do you think this is going from here?
I think that we're going to see Grogu really learning to harnessing the Force.
How?
He's going to play with people's heads, the Jedi mind trick. He's going to do that.
He also has to save the Mandalorian at some point.
But that's kind of old news. He's already done that.
But he'll do it again.
The point is his powers have to grow bigger. He has to use it to like Jedi mind trick people and stuff like that. And Mando's got to be like, dude, that's a dangerous fucking road that you're going down, right? So I think Grogu's
teaching him like a child, right?
Yeah, Grogu's got to deal with the having that much power and how it can turn you evil.
Where does Starbuck go from here?
I think Mandalorian is going to, because Mandalorian belongs to the old watch, right? That's the belief that you can't take off your helmet. He's going to get to the Seas of Mandalore. I think he's going to decide, like, you know what, something is going to happen within that time where he's going to realize, like, look, the old watch is important, but I don't think that's who I am anymore. And he's going to still consider himself a Mandalorian. He might bathe in the Seas of Mandalore, but realize, hey, that really wasn't necessary. I'm a Mandalorian regardless if my helmet is off or on. And he's going to be part of, not a civil war is the wrong way to put it, but part of a retaking of Mandalore where Bo-Katan is going to sit in the high seat.
But how is he going to make it so that she fights for the sword?
That is what I mean by that could be
someone else.
When he goes to the Seas of Mandalore, Bo-Katan meets him there and fights him for it.
Do you actually think that's going to happen? Like I feel like she's just going to bide her time until someone comes after him.
Could be.
And I think he'll get beaten.
And then Bo-Katan
Bo-Katan
will kill that person. That could work
Bo-Katan
too.
comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
And surprises everyone. And she then takes the sword. Yeah.
Yep.
Saves the day.
That could work.
That's the end episode.
One thing I'm curious about, I don't know if it'll happen, but I am genuinely curious because they've been so mum about it. They were very mum about the Luke Skywalker thing, and I was very impressed by they were able to keep that under wraps. They were like, yeah, I don't know if there'll be some Boba Fett's, probably not, type of thing. But they've been very mum about Obi-Wan. And I wonder if Obi-Wan Kenobi will show up anywhere in here. He's supposed to look like fucking Alec Guinness.
Harrison Ford would still be there, right?
No.
Is he dead at that point?
No, Harrison Ford's still alive.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, You could bring
Harrison
him
Ford
in.
wouldn't. No, he wouldn't come back. But
He's doing. Isn't Indiana Jones Disney?
Well, Lucasfilm owns Disney. I don't think he would. I think they would have to pay.
I mean, the other way around. Disney owns Lucasfilm.
A metric boatload.
Yeah, and they would.
I don't think that. But he also hates the character of Han Solo now.
Does he?
Yeah. But no, they could get Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi to come back. I wouldn't like that. So don't get me wrong. I do not want to see that. I want the Mandalorian to be its own thing. But it's to me, it's a little telling that they haven't even discussed it. They're like, we're not saying anything about Obi-Wan. I got this bad feeling that he might show up, but we'll see.
What about Yoda? Is he dead?
Yoda's
time point.
Yes, Yoda's dead. This is 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
You know what would be really cool?
You know who died in Return of the Jedi? Guess. Starts with a Y.
Your mama? No.
How bad would you feel if she did die during Return of the Jedi?
While you were watching the movie?
She was like, good night.
I would love to see the origin of Grogu.
And that's like seeing the origin of Yoda.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to see it, but would you be disappointed once you see it?
One of the stipulations that George Lucas had when he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, one of them was the name can't be changed, has to remain Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were other ones, but one of them was the name of the species and past of Yoda can never be discussed, can never be put on film.
But isn't Grogu their way around that?
I don't think so. I think
could they not make up an origin?
I think you'll see enough. You'll see enough. This is being made by enough Star Wars fans like Filoni. Sorry, that I don't think anyone wants that.
I think they love the mystery, but yeah.
But it's also, I mean, again, we've had this discussion before. What does it do for the story to know where he's from? Nothing. Like it doesn't help the story at all to know his past.
People ask. They're just like,
yeah, but those
where's
are the
the
toxic
species
Star Wars
from?
nerds.
Like how do they mate? How do they? We know they eat eggs
bugs and frogs. But yeah, I'm enjoying The Mandalorian. Looking forward to it, and I will also enjoy The Bad Batch, which I'm also watching, which is good, which is also Star Wars. What do you think of that?
Do our outro, Rob.
Thank you for watching. No, wait. We're sorry you've been watching Watch and Complain. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram and Reddit and TikTok.
All our links are below.
All our links are below.
It's like all your base belong to us.
All your links belong to us. All right, goodbye, everybody.